Okay, welcome all. We are seriously missing our main guest, but oh well, we'll get. Hopefully, he'll be here in a few minutes.
Or maybe he got wise.
Yeah,
See,
maybe
I'm playing the role of Taylor. You said you wanted me to fill in.
That is true. Yes,
I got my whiskey, and I will fill in like the good old Taylor. Maybe he got wise and got better plans.
Well, Las Cruces already took off, so he was here 28 minutes ago, said something, and left town. So I don't know what's going on. But either way, Jim, he knew he should be here any minute, but instead we've got Eric and Rob to mess with anyway. God, there's one person watching. Woo! Hello, people. I don't know. I don't have a lot of questions, so I already asked you guys about everything I can. Did you guys pick up anything good this week? We're going to go straight into that until he gets here. I don't care. Oh, here he is. He's alive, the man. Oh, I can't add him. Why can't I add him? He's alive. Jim is here. Oh, he's got his headphones out.
Yeah, I'm here. You know what? I got the time mixed up. I was like, oh my God, it is 9:30.
Time zones are hard.
You know what? I told my wife, I was like,
yeah, because Jim mentioned that to me. He's like 10:30. I was like, at 10:30. I was like, that's kind of late.
Yeah, I was wrong. My bad.
It's okay. If we actually get people in here, I'd be really surprised. I don't know. I actually hit an all-time low this week on depression part, and I don't have much depression, but the job market has killed my. I was really, after I had an interview the other day, I was just fried and I didn't want to do anything. So we ended up buying a 65-inch TV and a new TV stand. So go figure. Don't have the money. Credit cards are good for you. But okay, Jim. Now that you're here, we get to roast you.
We get to.
So yes, Rob. I need to get a sound system for the TV. Hang on one second.
Not until you have a job.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I can get it. The cheap ass Vizio one. It's a Vizio TV. I couldn't afford an expensive one, but my Vizio last one lasted 10 years. So
my problem is that last week I wasn't able to watch TV because my sound system went out, because I'm a guy who can't listen to audio through TV speakers, so I had to get a new audio video receiver. But because I'm also a high-end audio nerd when it comes to stuff, I'm like, my requirements are I need to have the ability to bi-amp my main speakers, which I know is over everybody's head here probably anyways, and I need a removable power plug, among other things. And there are not a lot of receivers that fit those requirements, and I went into, unfortunately, all the audio video stores around here have gone out of business. They're all pretty much dealing with custom installers, and custom installers don't want to sell me one audio video receiver that I'm going to hook up myself, or there's Best Buy. And I went into Best Buy and went in there, and I had to spend an hour teaching the guy at Best Buy what he had, only to in the end be told, oh, well, we don't carry any of these in stock.
Oh, God.
So you're a showroom. I ended up having to order it online and wait for it to be delivered.
Wow. Okay, get right into it, Jim. What started you on collecting comic books, or of course, the other stuff you do? So
let's do one. Pick one, and then we'll do the other. That's a follow-up question.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's start with comics.
Yeah.
Probably my next door neighbor. She had sons that were older than I was, but they were into comics, and I remember one of them giving me like a couple of DC. I want to say some early action, Superman action comics, and one really beat up X-Men. I mean, like an early X-Men, like 76 or something, but with no cover, because they're like, I was probably like 8 or 9 or something. They're not going to give me anything good. And that's kind of what started it. And then, I had to, if I wanted them, I had to work a hustle to get money as a kid. My father was like, you're not getting an allowance. That doesn't work. I have to pay the mortgage, stuff like that. And so
he had to throw that up to make sure that Jim knew he wasn't flipping him off.
Yeah, I was going to.
No, I figured he was talking to somebody.
This slotted up's being rude.
He's like, welcome to my show.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim. Sorry about that.
But so as kid, you can't really do it. I think I was probably like 10 or 11, and I wanted to buy comics, and I didn't have the money, so I worked out a deal with my dad. We had a pool down the street that was the community pool, literally down at the end of the block, and so I said, if you front me the money for trash cans and trash bags, I'll just recycle the cans and I'll set up aluminum cans. And so I'd do that. And every day I'd go down there at the end of the day and see what the cans looked like was ready to be dragged up to my house. And at the end of the week, he'd bring home a truck from work. And that's how I made my first bit of money until I could get a paper route. But once I got a paper route, man, I was making large money. I mean, because I just didn't have anything to spend it on but comics, and I spent it on candy, and I figured out that you could hustle candy at school. Like you could buy a pack of Now or Laters for like 10 cents or something and sell each one for like a nickel or a dime, and these kids would like just hand over the money until I got busted. And then it was like, all right, you can't sell candy. All right. So then I would take
the hard drugs.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I used to take these toothpicks and I'd soak them in like this cinnamon oil, and then we'd sell the toothpicks. Yep. I mean, if I could sell it, I would sell it. That was legal. I want to make sure I'm clear on that.
Sure.
But that's basically allowed me to buy all the comics, and I remember when the Hellfire Club and the Dark Phoenix Saga came. Oh man, I thought that was just amazing. It was probably the best story I'd ever read. I mean, all the books that are like super hot now that I bought when they were 40 cents. I mean, I bought when they were 60 cents. So I feel like I'm ahead than, somebody else. But, I didn't have them all. I didn't like this one. I got at the con.
What number is that?
It's 27. Didn't have that.
Got to check if I have it.
Yep. Didn't have this one. This is 55. So, I mean, there's some stuff that I'm going back and picking up. But, yeah, originally that's how it started. My brother also got into it. He collects. And the two of us would switch back and forth as we got older. He'd say, hey, can I get your run of X-Men? I want to read that. And I'd be like, hey, can I get your run of Batman or whatever, Justice League or whatever he had. But I went both ways. I was not picky as far as Marvel or DC. I mean, I liked certain things in DC. I liked Titans, Legion, and Justice League. And I liked Batman, but I didn't pick up as much Batman as he did. So that's really about it as far as comics.
So now this is where, Eddie, you ask the follow-up question. Now
I suck at doing this. I understand. Okay, so the other part of it, how'd you get into that part then?
As far as metal detecting goes, that oddly enough, I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, which is a lot of history, and I didn't do any detecting as a young person or when I lived there. It wasn't until we moved to Maryland where I needed an outlet to get out and just have time to myself. I did the stay-at-home dad thing for several years, and I needed a way to get away and do something that was just for me. And I had a friend of mine who was also a stay-at-home dad, and he's like, I like history. I like looking up old things, so I enjoyed it. And I said, I'm going to buy a detector and do this with him. And we found places to go hunt, and I just got hooked on it. I mean, digging something out of the ground, like I dug today a buffalo nickel. Well, they started in 1910, and it's just the place we hunted was from the 1800s. My buddy found a 1794 penny. That's insane.
Nice.
So did you do detecting down in Virginia and Maryland? But did you find anything? There's got to be some cool stuff down there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I would go home and visit family, I would take it with me sometimes, but I don't really have the contacts down there in Richmond, and you have to be really careful because Richmond is like 3 times more stringent about where you can go. I mean, they don't even let you go in certain parks because they just locked it all down. So you have to know people who have property that might have had something going on. Yeah. And I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not a super Civil War person. If I find a Civil War bullet, great. If I find a button, fantastic. I just like going out and digging, I found, I did one yard one time, and the house wasn't old. It was probably from the 40s, but I found the coolest car club badge that this guy, the original owner of the house, now he had long passed away, but he stuck that in the front of his yard and said, "Hey, I'm a member of the Maryland Car Club." And that was a big deal back in the 40s and 50s. You were proud of your ride. Probably was a hot rod, and he liked it. And he said,
we found in our house is only here from the 60s, but going through the side yard, found actually a coal car, one of the steel toy locomotives, the coal car from a 1920s era steel toy train.
Right. Sure.
Crazy.
I'll go to you, Eric. You got any questions for him? Since you're sitting there quiet you look like you're frozen in time, I figured you awake. Come on, let's go.
I'm awake. So for you, Jim, I know you're collecting Marvel Team Up to complete the series,
right?
And just like any other books, is there like a top 3 books that you're looking for to get right now?
Top 3. I don't think there is. I'm so focused on getting the team ups done. I have everything I want as far as my X-Men run because, like I said, I really like just basically from that whole beginning part of the new X-Men up until a certain point, and then maybe 150-ish. After that, I have a few here and there, and a lot of those I just buy on the fly. There's a certain part of Avengers, mostly where it was George Perez doing the art, because I was always about the art, and my brother was about the story. And so he said, "Oh, this has a great story." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was good, but look at the art." George Perez and John Byrne are probably my favorites. So I struggle with some books. I read the book, but I look at the art and I'm just like, I struggle with this art because it's just not the style that I'm used to.
Okay. Then note on that
but
one.
I love the story.
On a note on that one, just artist note, really quick. 2 questions. First, what do you think of Sienkiewicz?
Now, see, I like some of his covers and I like some of his work, and then there's some stuff in Moon Knight that I'm just like, ugh. But it could be that way with George Perez sometimes too. I did not like John Byrne. I did not like the way John Byrne drew Wonder Woman. It looked like a dude in drag. Seen that one? Yeah, go look at some of his Wonder Woman. He does not draw her well. To me personally.
But he draws a mean She-Hulk.
But yeah, now he does draw She-Hulk well. And he gives her more figures. But I don't really have any books.
So what's the current X-Men run you have? I'm curious compared to what I've got. So
I have probably
here. Whip out your long boxes, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't have.
What did you try to finish? 100 to 150, or did you go lower?
No, I have ones that are lower, but I don't have like 94. And I have Spider-Man stuff, but I don't have 361. Because there was a period there where I wasn't collecting. I think everybody goes through that period where, hey, wait, I have a mortgage. I have to pay the bills first. There was
introduced too many Spider clones.
Right. There was a period there when I first got married. After we got the house and everything, my wife was going to go back and get her master's. And so, we had a mortgage to pay and everything. So I had to focus on that. So there was a period there where I would buy a book here and there, but I didn't have a pull list or anything.
So if I can channel my inner Taylor for just a second here.
Here we go.
I want to make sure I get this, Jim. So what you're saying is that with limited income and a certain number of expenses, you have to cut back on your frivolous spending.
Oh, that is correct.
Oh,
That
that's
is
interesting.
correct.
That's quite interesting. What do you think about that, Eddie?
I have, and I am.
Taylor, that was for you, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, Juan? What's up, Jason? What's up, Taylor? Who else came in? James, you're in here. I do say, as an update, I did have a bunch of interviews, absolutely no information. I have another one with the UDOT this week, but as usual, they seem to think that I'm a programmer when they read my resume, even though it says nothing about being a programmer. But yeah,
you only know BASIC.
I programmed in BASIC on a Commodore 64
Right, that's all you know, right?
I took programming classes in C++, C.
Hey, and I took
Basic.
Fortran 77, but don't ask me to program a code of
I can't do it anymore.
Fucking Fortran to save my life. Jim, let me go back to you since you are the guest and you have questions. If I can be so bold as to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to your metal detecting and whatnot, what has been the most interesting thing to you that you have found while out metal detecting that you just were dumbfounded and taken aback by?
Probably, I found an 1842 halfpenny that was just in the middle of the city of where I live, and it just blew my mind. You know, here I was in this park, and I found this penny that predates the park. You know, like all the dirt that is moved. How did this stay here? You know, things like that blow my mind. I found a Civil War bullet in that same park, and I'm just like looking around, going, they moved so much dirt. They built I was 20 feet from a tennis court. I mean, it's just crazy. I think those things blow my mind all the time. I'm like, why is this here?
I can relate. I think somewhere around here I found, not metal detecting, just walking down the street though.
Right.
Found a 50th anniversary commemorative Russian ruble of the Soviet
right
takeover, and right. I was like, what the hell is this? It wasn't doing it in the middle of the streets.
Right.
Middle of California.
But, you know, things.
Well, how do they, now here's about that. How do they gauge where you can and can't do it? I didn't even know there was a thing where I get the Civil War areas are definitely restricted.
Right.
People selling this stuff,
yeah.
But there's plenty of places in Virginia where you could go anywhere. I mean, Smithtown, New York, wherever, you know.
It's based on the town. You have to look. Like if I were going to go to a town that I thought might have, you know, nice parks to go look at based on the age of the town, you got to look that up. You can't just roll up in there and assume it's okay to start digging, because the city or the town that you're in has set up their own set of laws and said, you know, you can't dig here, or you can't do this, you can't fish. I mean, I've been to a town where they had these beautiful little, you know, lake thing, and nobody could fish in it. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. So I'm not really sure. I always look online and try to dig before I, you know, online to see if there's any type of regulations, because I don't want to get out there, especially if I'm driving. If I have to drive 2 hours away and all of a sudden the guy says, no, you can't do that. And there's always somebody, you know.
Somebody always owns the land, and if it's public land, there's rules and laws regarding what you can and cannot do on those public lands. Right.
Like, so the place I hunted today from the 1800s, they're already starting to tear up the front part to put up condos. And the lady that is renting the house was like, I don't care, go ahead. I mean, they're going to rip this all up anyway. In another 6 months, you know, nothing's going to be here. And so, you know, it was kind of a free pass to go ahead and do it. And, you know, so I'm working on right now trying to get a spot in town that served as it was a Civil War hospital. It was a Catholic, I don't know what you'd call it. It wasn't a church, though. It was, I don't know what you'd call it, where like nuns and priests would go to retire. Anyway, That it was that for a while. It was a school. It was so many different things. There's so much that happened in that one spot, and I'm trying to get this guy in Annapolis that owns it to let us get in there, but he's stonewalling me because I think he's worried about. This is the other thing. People always worry about. Well, what if you fall? What if you fall and sue me? Yeah, liability. And I've sent him emails going, "Hey, I'll get a lawyer to draft up an agreement and I won't sue you if I fall." I mean, I'm not jumping off a cliff. I'm digging a hole 6-7 inches down in the ground. And we're not on the side, it's flat land. So my buddy and I are trying to work with him to figure out how we can get in there. When COVID hit, he was trying to remodel the building. And when COVID happened, he shut it all down. So I thought maybe we could get in then, but he just hasn't returned my emails yet. So, but that would be a nice place to hunt. I'm really looking forward to trying to get in there. I will say this. I told Eric this in the chat the other day. So my buddy that I went to the Steel City Con with was I don't even know, when we were in the car talking, I'm not sure how it came up. We were talking about eBay, and I said, "Hey, I put a few Playboys up, and actually sold a couple." And he's like, "Wait, you got Playboys? How about we do a trade?" And I said, "Okay." And he's like, "What are you looking for?" I said, "You know what? I'm looking for an ASM 361. He's like, "I think I might have 3 of those." And I was like, "Okay. Well, let's trade some Playboys for that." Well,
there's a lot of Playboys.
Yeah.
Well,
depending upon the Playboy, yeah.
I look at it this way: it's if he wants them bad enough and he doesn't care. This guy, Rob, has so much stuff that he could literally go to a con after con after con to sell it. I mean, anything Star Wars, anything, he has it. His whole basement is nothing but totes filled with Star Wars. He has comic stuff.
Doesn't have kids, does he?
No. He has no children, and I love him to death. We worked
I would say that'll do it. Yeah,
I met him at Toys R Us when we worked there together, and this guy, he has a buying addiction, and he loves everything he buys, but it's a struggle for him to sell. And so, I just said I'm looking for that, or maybe Black Cat, 194, ASM 194. These are books that I would like to have. I don't have. So he said, I think I have 2 of those, and I think I have 3 of the ASM, but I know I have 2 of the first Prowler. How about that? Would you do that? And I was like, we'll make that the 3rd choice. So
first Prowler.
And the only reason why I would take it is because it has potential. It has,
it's a sub 100 ASM.
It's
Therefore, it's gold.
Right.
It's just all there is to it.
Right. But there's also a chance that, they might work him in somehow as Miles' uncle, so because I thought that was part of a storyline one time.
It was like in the universe, animated thing, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that was his own. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, I might end up just getting that if he can't find the other books that he said he had. But he has so much stuff. He's like, it's buried underneath all of this. And I was
Tell him you'll take any Golden Age Planet comics in mid-grade or better.
Nice.
Here's my brother.
That's guaranteed gold.
Okay, what's your opinion on grading books? Since we know Rob's and Eric's.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something. I'm going to get up for a second.
He's showing us his ass.
Oh, yeah, that was fast.
This is more fun when you're drinking, Taylor.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. By the way, he also showed me my buddy when we were looking through a short box that he had. When we were looking through a short box, he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And it was Ghost Rider 1. I was like, I think it's a good book.
It's just some book. I'll take it off your hands.
Yeah.
And trust me, he was like, "What about any of these Batmans?" And they were all 12 centers. And he doesn't buy junk. he's like, he does not buy low grade anything. And I was just like, we'll get back to Batman. Let's keep with the ASM theme. And so we'll see. But, I'm okay with graded books. I don't have a lot of graded books. That's why I usually put these silver rounds in, because I only have maybe 7, 8 graded books. But
A lot of people are like that. Not everybody's an idiot like me.
It's basically, it's two things. I'm a collector, but I am a reader, and I've always, I was first and foremost a reader. So if I graded it, I could never read it.
Not that copy.
Yeah, not
That's
that
why
copy.
That's why you have multiple copies.
Yeah, but if I wanna read the entire Hellfire Club, let's say I went and took the whole Hellfire Club series and got them graded and put them up on my wall. Yeah, super cool. But then I can't read it, and I'm going to spend what, $300-$400 to go buy a whole new set to read? Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Trades, digital.
Right? Yeah.
Giving you other options to like read
Come
it.
on.
Just get it graded.
So
Slab the bitch. Slab the bitch.
So then it goes
Rob
back
on whiskey
to
is way different than Rob normally.
right. So then it goes back to the bigger question being, what do you think of CGC and all the grading companies? I'm starting to lean towards being a CBCS fan, because I got 2 books. One I got I found this when it was
nice.
raw. When it was raw for $2.99 at Second and Charles, and I knew it needed a cleaning and I knew it needed a press, and I looked it over and I was like, I already have the director's cut that I bought for like, I don't know, it was in the dollar bin at the LCS years ago, and so I said, you know what, this is getting hot. I'm gonna go ahead and get it cleaned and pressed and get it slabbed, and then I'll sell it, because I don't need 2 copies. This thing came back 6.0, and it's not 6.0. There's no way. CGC said there was staining in there, and I looked through the book. I'm like, there's no way there's any staining. Now, I knew there would be some color rub and a few minor things. I figured this would probably be more like an 8.0 or maybe a 7.5, but not a 6.0. So I didn't mind that much. I mean, that was a gamble anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pop it and send it back in.
But then I won playing poker. I won 2 ASM 362s, the second appearance. So I said, well, I don't need 2 copies. I'll send one of those in, because what's the rule of thumb? If you can't get the first appearance, you're going to go and get the second. So I sent that in after it was cleaned and pressed. And I mean, this thing was mint. I mean, the guy that was cleaning it would send me pictures. Hey, look at this. This looks amazing. This looks good, doesn't it? I'm like, yeah, it does. And Eric knows the guy. It's the same guy that sold him his Hulk 181.
I know who that is, yeah.
So he did a great job. I mean, I was, he's like, I'm going to send these off, because he was sending off a batch of his. Well, 6.0. And I'm like, did they just say, I'm going to put a 6.0 sticker on every damn book? I mean, there's no way. Again, staining. He's like, I looked that book over 3 times before I, sent it. There's no way there was staining.
A lot of staining.
That makes no sense, because I've got all my X-Men sub 100 slabs are all, except for the one that I bought from Rob, which is 5.5, are all 6 and above. And they're in way worse shape than I think anything you'd look at and go, I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
This is gonna, I'm probably gonna end up cracking both of them, but so I think CGC has issues. I think that if enough people start going to CBCS and saying, hey, this is where I'm sending my books, and I think if enough people start pushing the market that way, you're going to see a change. But you have to be willing to go, I'm going to buy this CBCS slab, screw CGC. And nobody's doing that yet.
No, it is. I think
it's getting better, but not as much.
Well, you got to remember, there's a lot of, here's the thing, that there's lies, damned lies, and statistics, right? And so people are going to tell you all kinds of stories about the numbers and sales on CGC and why CGC garners more than a CBCS book, right? The reality of the situation is this. First of all, there's a hell of a lot more CGC out there than there is CBCS out there to begin with. So the numbers are going to distort. And you can take a CGC slab and any one book, and if there's a lot of transactions, you're going to see a lot of variety in pricing. If there's not as many on a CBCS, then you're more likely to be able to find and pick the data that you want to
Right.
illustrate the argument you want to have. And CGC has a significant number of apologists, fanboys that love them to death and will swear by them no matter what. And that's that. Now, we are seeing a lot of people start to look the other way, and we don't need CBCS to take over being number one. All you just need is CBCS to take 20% of the business away.
They need to be,
and that becomes a significant amount to cause change in the system.
They need to be competitive.
Yes,
that's the bottom line. I mean, forget the other, forget PGX and ESG or whatever.
Well, I'd love for them to be competitive too. I really would.
Yeah,
because even at a small percentage, every bit of competitor out there that's a legitimate competitor is good for us, the consumer.
Right.
I look at it this way, and I hate to say I'm. If I want to get my personal stuff in the future, when I decide some personal books done, might go through CBCS. Right now, because of what I'm trying to do with the stuff I sent in the CGC, those are books that I'm either going to throw into mystery boxes or I'm going to flip. So for now, I'm sticking with CGC because of that fact.
Right.
Once things even out a little bit, or if I want my X-Men slabs, when I start sending X-Men slabs in, I will.
So let me give you an example, though. That's fine if you want to do modern books, right? Yeah. Modern books, the difference in price and everything is a few dollars. It's a significant percentage, but it's a few dollars, right? Because with your membership, you're paying what, $20 or $22 for a modern book now, right?
I think
versus my membership on CBCS, I'm paying $16 for a book. So not a huge dollar amount, but a significant percentage. But when we move away from modern books, I was just looking yesterday. Now I had to send 2 books off to CGC because they're magazine size, and I have no choice. But then I had a third Golden Age book that was not magazine size that I was looking to send off. That Golden Age book, to send it to CGC for a clean and press, would have taken over 200 days and cost me $140 something. I sent it to CBCS on the quick stream. It's going to take me 6 weeks, and it cost me $70. That's a huge difference. Plus, I got 5% off coupon.
Well, that's right. And that's
I did that this week too. Like I've sent 4 books in. I was gonna send them into CGC originally, but because of like the cost of CGC, I just went with CBCS, and I also used that 5% coupon too. I used it for my Hulk 181, my Tomb of Dracula 10, Caliber Presents 1.
That's what I think.
And one other book.
But you're keeping those.
Yeah, I'm keeping those.
Right. I mean, and that's the rule of thumb with everybody's doing.
I still think that CBCS got no problem selling it.
Oh no, yeah. The book itself should just sell alone. It doesn't matter about the case. Like,
correct.
You got the grade. You got the book. There you go.
Okay, so when this would have been, I don't know. It was maybe last year during the pandemic or whatever. I was looking for a specific that Moonlight book. When I see something, I look at it from a cover standpoint. You know, if I'm getting a slab, does it have a cool cover? You know, is it something I want to put up on the wall? And I really wanted that Marvel Spotlight, and I found a guy on eBay that sold it cheap, and I didn't know about PGX. And he came to me, and I was like, "Oh, PGX, what's that?" And the first time I ever heard PGX was listening to Rob talk about him, and I was like, "Well, I got one." He's right; it's a little different. It's not quite the same, but you know,
it's different grading scale.
It probably wouldn't get a 7.5 if it went to CGC or CBCS. I don't know. I mean, it looks clean on the front. It has a little bitty tear up at the top, which will ding you at CB, but I'm not going to crack that. I'm going to keep that. I don't care.
Yeah,
It's staying with me.
And if you wanted to crack it, and you wanted to send it to CGC, just so you know, even though they don't advertise it, when you go in to log into CGC, they still have the crossover grading as an option that you can select. And crossover grading is if you send in a PGX comic book, for example, and it's in the slab, you send it into them, it's half price on the grading. Now, it's a long turnaround time, but it's half price on the grading, so you can get it graded basically for like $12, and get it. They'll completely regrade it. They're not going to pay any attention to the PGX grade. But
I really usually, when I go and look for books, when I look for graded X-Men, I really don't go out of my way to look for either one. But my example of PGX, the only two I have in my entire collection, one from Rob, that was the Carnage 1 of 100, beautiful book in my collection. The other one was an X-Men 29. And I don't even think I looked at it. So, okay. But when I got it in hand, this thing is so dark and so not a 7.0. I'm like, damn, this thing's got to be like a 4 or 5. It's a 4 to a 5. It is so bad looking. And PGX goes, it's a 7. I hold it up against a 6 and I go, this 6 looks beautiful. This thing looks like trash. That's what scares me about PGX. Well, CBCS, I trust more on that end. But in the end, I don't want to pay. I want to pay CGC for X-Men 100, whatever, however much money. The only big books I have, whatever it costs me, like you said, those older books. That's why I'm thinking if I decide to get a bunch of my X-Men done, it'll probably be CBCS. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So let me tell you about the Steel City Con that I went to, and the reason why I'm gonna bring this up, and this is why I was thinking Taylor might be on the show tonight. I don't know why. I don't know if I saw something that he said or one of his shows, or I don't know how this came into my head, but for some reason on the way up to the con, I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to find there's always somebody out there that's trying to sell their book. Their book they made, their comic or their book, because now you can, there's so many ways you can get Kickstarter, there's so many ways to get your stuff out. That would never happen in the old days. You had to go to a big publisher, you had to sell your soul, please publish my comic or my book. So I was walking through the con and this guy popped out and he's like, hey, can I talk to you about my book? And I was like, okay. And it turned out to be that it was it was 4 comics, and then he had some trades up there, and he said this is about Yi Sun Sun. It's a Korean 1500s Korean war hero, and I said, you know what? I like Korean stuff. I love Korean shows on Netflix. Tell me about it. So he tries to tell me about all the book and everything. And he's like, well, you buy the 4 comics for $10. I was like, sure. I said, but what's the deal with these books? And he's like, well, they're the 4 comics, they're the first 2 series, but I didn't think you'd want to buy those. I need 30 for those 2. And I was like, why don't you just give me those 2 then? He's like, really? I swear to you. He went like this. Yes. And I was, so nobody had come to him the entire day, I guess. Because he's like, will you put your name on the notepad? And I was the first name.
Not that he's not a good salesman because he doesn't learn the first rule, which is you can't close it if you don't ask for it.
Right. And so I wanted to do that because I wanted to read something that was different, because I feel like I'll get to know this guy better, and also you never know what he might write later on that might be epic. And I could say, well, I read his first book and it was great. And plus one of the other writers, he was telling me there's another set coming out, but they haven't finished it yet because one of the writers died of COVID. So he's got to finish it on his own. Ooh. And so I said, you know what, put me on the mailing list. Let me know when that third book drops and I'll buy that too. But I can't remember. I swear to you, I can't remember why it came in my head, but I want to say it was something Taylor was talking about, maybe on one of his shows.
I'm sure Taylor doesn't remember either. He was probably drunk.
Yeah, he was probably half drunk. I'm going to be back in 10 seconds.
He was
Pause for station identification, and this message from our sponsors.
he was
Rice-A-Roni.
he was
Right.
pretty ripped during that one comic review. He's like, guys, I've been out drinking. I'm gonna do this comic review now. I was like, holy shit! I was laughing the whole time. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, I put this
Did you
up to
only
number
go
4.
for Friday?
I did go Friday.
That was it, right? Like you didn't go back the other days.
Oh no. I mean, it's 3 hours away, so I mean,
Okay.
it's a drive. I don't live. It's pretty close to Pittsburgh, and my buddy just wanted to go that one day. He said, I don't think there's going to be that many people there on Friday, and I was like, I'm thinking this is the first big con in the area. I think there's going to be a good billion people there, and when we pulled up, the line was all the way to the end of the parking lot, and as we walked up, because we had to go park way away, and by the time we got up there, they'd started letting people in, and it was pretty busy. It was pretty busy, and we were there for, I'd say we spent a good 4 hours in there going back and forth. But it's a big toy con. It has a lot more toys, and they have those B-list celebrities. Like the guy would come over and go like, Jamie Farr will be taking autographs now.
Jamie Farr's not B-list. Of course, I don't think Eric plays.
He's not comic related.
He is today.
He is today, right? Have you seen Jamie Farr do anything? I loved him. I mean,
you got to remember which generation knows who Jamie Farr is.
Yeah, I'm about to say Eric has no clue who Jamie Farr is. Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Loretta Swit was there.
There you go.
I mean, they had the guy that, and I can't even remember his name now. They had the guy that played Captain America in the 70s.
Oh yeah,
remember that guy?
Yeah. I saw somebody was doing a signing. Was trying to collect comic books to have him sign it.
Right.
It's
As
like
we were
one of my facilitators.
When we were there, they had some good people. They had John Lovitz there.
Oh, okay.
Just a clear thing. I'm sorry for the chat.
I know
Chat.
John Lovitz.
People for the chat here, John and Taylor are talking about a smidge. By the way, a smidge is an official measurement. It's actually about 150 drams.
John is my brother,
That's a
by the
smidge
way,
whiskey.
guys.
Wait, John.
Sorry.
John is my brother, and he is stayed up to see this.
That's in my mind. 4 fingers is a smidge.
4 fingers, right on.
That's a smidge of whiskey.
I saw Taylor's last review last week, not this week. Oh my God, how much did you drink before that one?
He said just a smidge.
It was a 3 sheets of the wind. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he was ripped.
That was good. Last night. Forget it. Go ahead.
I was on Rob after you left Chip's stream yesterday
To go cook.
Yeah, to go cook. Panda came on. And they were all talking about C2E2. He might be your guy to hang out with. He's like, oh yeah, I'm planning to get.
I was there when we were talking about that. He was going to get kicked out of his hotel room. They were asking if anyone was going to party. I said it depends on how much whiskey they have.
Yeah, that's right.
Have we heard yet about C2E2's tickets yet?
Nope.
I'm debating on that one. I got the room still.
All that we've heard is they've released their, if you want to pay a crap ton of extra money to be able to have first shot to buy tickets for either that one or some others, you can go ahead and pay for that privilege. But that's about it. I passed.
I still have the 2 hotel room with two queen beds if anybody needs a spot. I don't know quite if I'm going yet. We're still working on that, but kind of debates on everything else happening this year. Well, yeah, should be okay. Honest booking your collection, Jim. What do we got?
It'd have to be one of those. Like dirty books that I got from that nasty Norse Lake mystery box, because I don't really have a lot of odd stuff in my collection. It was one of those, boobs and asses magazines that he sent out, and I was just like, this shouldn't even be a comic. It was probably from the 70s or something. The 60s.
Oh, so it wasn't one of the newer ones? I've seen some of the newer ones that came out.
Oh, no. This thing was, just... Ugh. And then I got one from, what's his name? E. Nelson?
Yeah.
E. Nelson. I got one of his boxes, and he got some really weird books that I've never seen before. But that doesn't mean anything just because I've never seen them. It's just not something I would have picked up and read right away. I think it was like it looked like something. It was something Leonard Nimoy drew and wrote.
Oh,
called,
I think I heard of that one, but I wasn't sure.
But I mean, I'm sure it was like a dollar bin book. I guarantee I could probably find it in a dollar bin.
Yep.
Eric, I tell you, I think if I could find any of those ASMs I was talking about, if I could get that from my buddy, that would be a nice book to get for the year.
Those 3 books.
Yeah, any one of those. If he says, look, all I can do is give you this Prowler, I'll be fine with that. I mean, it's a nice book. I'd really like the Black Cat or the Carnage one, just because I have all of the Maximum Carnage run as far as that storyline. So that would be nice to get in there as well. And I have probably a bunch of them that are around that same area, but that I picked up through different boxes.
I had the 361 back in the day from when I was a kid. I sold it, 2 years ago when we first moved up here? Probably 4 years ago. We first moved here for $40.
I think I should get one of these ASM 361s. That'd be kind of cool.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait. Never mind.
I did have a second print I had a 9.4 second print, but I bought I have a 7.5 now. It got graded and sent back as a 7.5. But after looking at it, I kind of understand why. But I was told it was pressed, cleaned, and should be a 9.0 plus.
Right.
Everybody's word for it. Sent it in. I re-looked at the book and realized I should have sent the damn thing in. But oh well, no big deal.
So
I liked it anyway.
I'm trying to figure out, and I don't want Rob to get offended, but
That's hard to do.
This may be going away.
Okay, yeah.
This may be going to the mystery box that I'm
Scott
putting.
Campbell.
Yeah, I'm
that was what you got that in my mystery box, right?
I sure did, sir. I don't have any. I love it. It's fun. It was actually the first 9.8 I ever got.
Superior Spider-Man, like 30 something, I think it is.
31. Yeah, okay. Good call. But I think I'm going to put it in the mystery box. I'm giving you Cardboard Crazies for Comics Against Cancer. I'm building a big box for him, and I think this is going to go in it, as well as a lot of the books that I got at the con. A lot of the team ups all the team ups are for me, but there's a lot of books in here that I'm going to give to the mystery box, like this set right here. The Contest of Champions. Yeah, that's a good. Again, this is one of these ones that I've had since I was a kid. But I bought this set at the con, and I managed to get the guy to take $5 off and give me a free team up that I didn't have. So I got some deals. Don't let them tell you didn't have deals. I think Rob, you said something about that. Like, look a man in the eye, and talk to him, and show him the cash, and that makes a difference.
Especially at this time where we've been dealing with everybody's, it's easy to say no because we've all been doing anything electronically. We haven't been interacting face to face. That it's a whole new ball of wax. Get back involved and all that stuff. So.
Right, and I got a lot of them to give me like 20% or 10% off, and so those are going in there. I'm probably going to keep this one because I really like it. I like the cover. I got that for $10.
Oh dang.
It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty damn clean. And I don't know, this one looked cool too, so I got this one. This is a Doctor Strange.
I like the cover.
Yeah.
You're a Marvel team up guy, huh?
Yeah.
I've got a few. I've got maybe 5 or 10. I might have. You can have them.
I'm gonna
I
go
couldn't tell you what I've got.
I'm gonna go through everything that I have because I'm really close to being done. I got to be close.
I've only got 2. But one of them I'm not getting rid of because it's 95, which is the first Mockingbird. And the other one,
I got that one. I got all the big. I got all
the other
big
one's 99. I just have it. It came with 95 when I bought it. When I bought it, it was buy 2 of them for $50, and they were already slabbed 9/8. And so I was like, nice. Oh, okay, But so 95, 99 has just been one I've been holding on to just for giggles. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a 9/6. What was I thinking? Whatever.
Well, the big books I've got.
Now I definitely gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, you just send that to me. That's fine.
You can send
Yeah.
it to me.
Frank
I only have
Miller.
one. I used to collect a bunch of Marvel team ups, but then it just became just like what's it called, Amazing Spider-Man. I tried to collect the whole series. I just gave up. I was like, that's too much to deal with.
Oh, it's gonna cover. I mean, it's gonna fill up almost a whole long box. I mean, it sure will. I've got
Yeah.
doubles in there too, where I'm out in there and I'm out hunting and I'm going, I don't think I have this one, and I pick it
And you
up
buy it,
and I'm
there it
like,
is.
oh
Go
crap,
back. Yep,
there
yep,
it is.
never mind.
Or
You know?
or what ends up happening is if you do any of this stuff on eBay, like I've done with my Batman run, is you end up buying a block of
Block.
books because you maybe 50% of the books you need, and the price is just such that because they know that you're taking this block of books, it's so low that you just go like, fine, I'll pay that money and I'll figure out what to do. I'll look at these other ones and see if they're better than what I have. Otherwise, there'll be something to give away later down the line or something.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
I did that a little while ago. It was ugly.
it's funny because before the con, I bought some Marvel team ups off of eBay that I need that are in the 40s,
Mhm.
and it came while I was at the con, and my wife's like, "You got a package?" I was like, "I did. That's right, eBay." She goes, "You got a package of comics," and I was like, "I did. That's right. I bought those on eBay. Totally forgot about that because I spent a lot of money at that con, probably more money than I normally really do."
And what was the other thing I said about cons? Start saving money
Saving
now.
money. Well,
Yeah.
and that was the thing. I didn't, and so I've been thinking about that when you said that about C2E2. That's why I'm like scaling back on. I'm probably not going to be buying as many mystery boxes because I'm going to go to Baltimore. I'm going to go to the Baltimore con. It's right down the road, and it's just, to me, it's a decent sized con. It's bigger than the Steel City one by far, and I think it's just as good as New York. I mean, me personally, but I've never been to New York once, so I shouldn't really say that. But I like it. Plus, I'm not going to be freezing my balls off in Chicago.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm not standing outside on the street corner, so I don't care.
You will.
Yeah,
at
you
some
will. You'll
point.
need money. What do
You
you mean,
watch.
Rob?
You and Panda will be falling over drunk on the street corner.
I went to school. I went to military school in Northfield, Vermont, so I know what until you have hall callers telling you that formation has been canceled because it's negative 40 degrees outside, and the uniform of the day is winter B uniform with wool knit cap.
Ouch.
Okay, touche. You're a man of many states.
Mostly
But,
a state of insanity, but
Pretty much. Just depending on your day. Oh, okay. I'm going to open this up. I doubt we're getting more people in here. We have mainly 3 people in without Taylor here, just in case anybody wants to come on and ask.
well, that Rob guy usually
questions.
joins.
Yeah, no, just wait for him.
Yeah.
Wait,
well,
yeah,
yeah.
wait for that Rob guy.
Yeah,
He'll join.
he's pretty
Oh,
cool.
dope. Oh, I'll put this out there since I just missed it on eBay. If anybody's got an Avengers 53, I'm looking for it. Yes, Avengers 53. It has the X-Men in it. I love the cover. Trying to find a copy of it. Probably will not be able to, but I just missed out on one sold. No big deal. But no, other than that, I'm really trying to finish 1 through 100. I just realized I'm never finishing 1 through 100 X-Men. There's no way I can afford half those books anymore.
Right.
They've gone over the. I will never afford. I have number 10 in bad shape. I don't think. Slowly I'll pick them up, but I'm realizing.
So let's ask a question about that. How many of you feel that prices will go back down?
I'm hoping.
I mean, seriously,
There will be some,
or at least plateau. Like,
Yeah.
there'll be a plateau because a lot of this is movie driven in my world.
Okay, first appearance of Polaris. I don't understand why. She's not, as of right now. I don't think she'll be coming anywhere.
she's part of the new team.
The X-Men.
Well, yeah,
The new X-Men #1, the new team.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's
I
not
don't
just
think
that,
they're going to. They had her on a TV series for how long?
Doesn't matter about that.
It's not even that. That's not what I'm talking about. First appearances demand a certain level of
Right.
money.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just a fact. Any comic collector is going to say, this is the first. Look, this is the first appearance of Eternity. It's not. But I mean, let's just pretend. This book is way more expensive now because it's the first time this Eternity's ever been introduced. But if you say, hey, this is Eternity's 56th appearance, nobody cares about that. You know? Your apples and oranges type thing. It's two different things. I'm talking about just in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope they do. I really do.
They will.
If you know how books go. I mean, like, here you go. Damn, I used to have it right here. Eric, you know what I'm talking about. You raffled it. The Falcon and Winter Soldier one. You know, as soon as the movie dropped, that went from a $10 book to a $125 book. What is that? I mean, the show came on. It's great.
Captain America 25, is it the
you're
one?
You're still gonna see.
I've got that. Yeah.
I expect you'll see certain books that'll spike, and then those ones that spike for those temporary moments, they'll be the ones that crash more. Overall,
that one they did announce a movie with that one coming. I mean, Captain America 4 is going to be him.
Right. I'm not saying specific. Okay, so
I know.
So there will be some books that will spike and drop, based on momentary speculation or flashes in the pans or individual references. Overall, I think you're going to see that prices continue to go up. I hopefully will start to level off some. The 400 and 600% increases in the last 6 months that we've seen on a lot of books is not sustainable.
That's crazy.
But you have to remember there's several different things that are at play in the market. The movies have caused a greater level of exposure and getting people in. So there's some that's tied to the speculation to those characters, but there's also an increased number of fan base that's coming in here, combined with the fact that the comics have been cognizant of their fallacies of the past, and they've been keeping their print runs rather suppressed in favor of secondary, third, and fourth subsequent printings. Right?
Sure.
Tied to that, also you have new audiences. The new audiences are coming in. Different people are looking for something other than traditional monetary things for investment, or starting to see once again view some comics as an investment from one aspect of everything. And then you have just inflation in general. We've had in a period of time economically where we've had such suppressed interest rates and money just being created and are going to be just creating money for the sake, in order to maintain these trillions and trillions of dollars deficit. That's going to cause inflation, which thereby trickles into prices for everything, including comic books, continuing to rise and go up.
Oh yeah, no. Look, I just dropped $300 at the grocery store and about died. I was like, oh my gosh. Now I knew we hadn't been in a while, but food's just gotten outrageous. I mean, last year when my wife's like, hey, I want to do a raised bed garden, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do a raised bed garden. I don't have to buy vegetables. I mean, I mean, seriously, I had tomatoes, I had cucumbers, I had string beans.
I agree. My daughter wanted pet chickens, and I told her, I said, you want pet chickens? Daddy's going to eat those fuckers.
Right?
Yeah, we thought about doing that here, but the dogs would eat them before we ever got to them.
I mean, it's I mean, COVID. I mean, we walked around the neighborhood one time during, when that pandemic first really started going hard, and I was amazed at how many people were doing the same thing. They'd ordered or built their own raised bed gardens and were starting to plant their own food because people were freaking out. They were like, am I going to be able to go to the grocery store? Am I not? So
combination of that with just being at home and looking for something to do.
Correct. I mean,
pre-COVID, I never would have ever contemplated thinking the fact that in addition to being one hell of a pit master, I was going to become a freaking sourdough bread baker. But here I am making freaking sourdough bread. Like there's a champ.
I was like, oh, Rob.
Dude, I make a mean loaf of sourdough bread.
My wife bought a can. What is it? The canning pressure cooker thing or whatever.
Oh yes, a pressure canner.
And she made. I mean, she knows how to do all that. She was raised on a farm, and her sister and everybody taught her all how to do that. But now, I mean, that all started with we're gonna can some of these beans. Yeah, we're gonna keep these.
You grow more than you can
string
eat.
Beans. Yeah, we had a lot of string beans left over. So she canned, or I say canned, but she put them in jars. You know what I'm talking about.
It's still called canning.
Right.
Just because it's not in a physical can, the process is called canning.
Right. So
I do that with my barbecue sauce.
Jim is going to stay any minute now. We've totally gone off track on comic books.
Once again, Rob's talking about food. Yep.
The brisket video was good. I still don't think
I gotta edit the spatchcock chicken video still. It's sitting on my hard drive to be done.
Right.
I finally got our little smoker thing halfway clean, and I got to clean off the inside. Then we'll fire it up. But
Today I experimented with beef jerky with a different cut of beef. Instead of eye round, we couldn't find any eye round in the store, so I had to use London broil to make a beef jerky.
You smoke it, then dry it, and what?
Well, I season the meat first with my beef rub and whiskey bourbon because why not?
Why not?
Yeah, it gives it a woody, nice kind of oaky flavor, but also that's the only sugar I use is alcohol sugars in it. I don't add sugar, which normal beef jerky does. Then it marinates in that for a day. The next day you slice it into your thin slices and give it some more bourbon and more seasoning and some cracked black pepper. Let it marinate for another day, and then lay it out in the smoker. Put the pellet smoker onto cold smoke, so you can smoke it at 160 degrees, and let it go for about 3.5 to 4 hours, and then you got yourself some amazing beef jerky.
I never learned about it on mine. I've got that little whatever it's called one. I don't know
Camp Chef.
I don't know the difference on doing the cold smoke versus just turning it on to 225 and letting it go.
It has different settings. You just turn the dial as far.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Oh, because mine just has one up and go. You just turn.
Mine has set multiple temperature settings, and you just set it to whichever temperature you want.
My wife's across the house, and let me get her phone call. Something must be happening. Yeah. Sorry, you guys.
Juan, that sounds like an interesting idea, but shipping jars is not necessarily easy. I have shipped, and especially since I usually use the quart-sized jars for myself, but I did ship a jar to Gary B and to Jimmy the Don. Each got a jar of the fire sauce back, my ridiculous fire burn your face off sauce, or as I told Jimmy, is it the colon cleanser?
my wife just did strawberry jam.
Nice.
I came home on a Friday and she had bought all these strawberries, and I said, "What are you going to do with all this?" And she goes, "I'm making jam out of this. We're going to eat this, and I'm going to freeze
syrup.
this."
Yeah, I saw that jam. I'm like, I want some of that jam.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, you have to wait 2 weeks to let it set up, but
I grew up in the mountains as a younger kid, and we had wild blackberries all over the property, and that's what we would pick is blackberries all the time. The kids would have to go into the brambles and pick it all, and come back, and Mom would make blackberry syrup, blackberry jam, and we also lived on next door to us was an apple orchard, and you get all the apples, and you do apple cider and apple sauce, and we were canning stuff all the damn time. It was great.
Right,
Eric, you awake over there?
I'm awake.
Okay.
I'm going back to comics for 1 minute. So, like the very first guy I saw when I went into the Steel City Con, I went like 3 or 4 booths down, and this dude he had all kind of stuff, but you could tell he wasn't a comic, he was more toy than comic, but he had a decent split, and he'd put all these books together, wrapped them, and he was like, all these for $8, all these for $10. He got all this Spawn is in here for $8.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And this is like 12, and this is 7. I'm dying to open it to see what's in the middle, but
open it up.
Open it up.
I'm going to do a Taylor Winder. Stretch out your content, sir. Stretch out your content. So I'm going to stretch it out and open it later. But the other problem is I'm not sure this is all Spawn, because this guy was pretty lit. I mean, when I walked over, I was like, "Oh my God, he's ripped." I'm not sure that he's all there, so I don't know if this is all really Spawn, but that's just a cool ass cover. And I don't collect a lot of Spawn. When I get them in mystery boxes, I have a few, but I just
I've got like
a lot
20.
of them.
I got like 20. Oh, I didn't say there was one other. I realized there was one other mystery box I did pick up, because actually I kind of liked it this time. I did pick up another BAM box. I don't know why. I want to see when they mix it up and don't do all the same comic.
They're afraid that, man. They're gonna.
I think they are. Isn't that their thing? Like,
it's called Madness. They said this time it wasn't. It was going to be a Carnage themed. But if it is, then that's fine. Maybe next one I won't pick up. I mean, I don't know. It's a way in with the signed comic. I'm
trying to think like what Carnage book would be signed that they're going to be offering?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's definitely. I'm just curious.
Something tells me Spider-Man Unlimited, maybe.
That's true. I've got 2 of those already. Number 1, First Shriek. I've already got 2 of those. I've had 6 of those at 9.8.
Because I know they're not going to do no 361 in that box for that price.
But they'll probably do something more. So the Boys one that came out was a reprint that was just released this month.
Yeah, they're probably going to pick a new one.
So it could be this new whatever, this Ultimate Carnage or something that's coming out that everybody's pre-selling right now.
Oh, the Extreme Carnage,
or whatever it is. Yeah, some blah 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 Carnage. It's probably some, if they want, they could do something like that. You know, it doesn't have to be 361 or anything like that, right?
You can find the coupons around for 10% off in different places. So it ends up being like 70 something or $80 shipped. I'm trying it 1 more month. That was it, just to see. But
then after that, you can live vicariously through me.
Yeah, I will. There's not a lot. I know Macho's, put up his boxes. I'm like, I'm not buying boxes right now.
There's just 2. What killed me is like I wanted to get one of Macho's boxes, but I just bought a Dorkeries box, and I just bought
dude, that box those boxes look really good. Those
the Dorkeries one I missed. I missed the Dorkeries one. I don't know if I would have spent the money, but oh my god, it looks good.
Yeah, DJ and I are each got one again, and we're gonna do round 2 box battle.
A box battle.
So we're gonna do that. I'm trying to get some guests together for that one to have a 3-panel judges and special guest referee for that.
I can throw them for you. I mean,
so we'll see. We're gonna try that. But then I also have Silverback Graphics had one that he ended up making after I bought it. Then he trying to close out his last ones. He made it like some cascading deal. So I well, I already bought 2. So if I bought 3 more, will you give me for this price? And he goes, okay, sure. So I ended up buying
He's a good guy. He does have a very more eclectic type view on his books. What you're going to get, you're not going to get. You get a very interesting mix, and it's definitely different than most.
This could be better than those eBay ones I was opening. So that's
anything's better than those eBay ones. I am looking forward to coming up soon. He said July. Jack B is doing a Gold and Silver Age box limited run, and I'm hoping he does another. He used to give 10% to the Feed the Children. Several thousand. So I'm hoping his stuff is always. When I first started this, I bought 200 boxes from him in the same run. Stuff was great. Right. I mean, Jack B does extremely good stuff.
I know Ackery's going to do I think he's doing a bronze box. He's been buying a lot of bronze books, so I'm probably gonna buy his bronze box. I told him to tag me when he drops it.
I still would have done the Macho if I hadn't just also bought some torpedo boxes. The frickin'
torpedo.
Which ones did you get?
The Kingpin box, the Hulk 181 box, and I'm trying to remember what the hell the other one.
I know I need to watch the video, but what did Alan win?
He came on First Carnage, didn't he?
He did. He won the ASM 361.
Yep.
Yeah. Good for him. I mean, he said it. I mean, I've spent a bunch of money with them. I'm due, and
the $25 boxes, I don't feel so bad about trying again, but I looked, it's like one box is like $16 shipped for.
Oh, the Ironheart box was the other one. It was a $25 box for the Ironheart box. I said, what the hell? Though I already have one sitting there.
The Dolphins looked. I really liked that. That looked really good to me. Macho's the old X-Men, but he had all the X-Men he had in there. I think were above 100. There maybe 1 or 2 that was below, but I had them already.
That was it. That was the other reason I didn't get Macho's. Was it had a lot of X-Men, and I am like the one Marvel fan on the planet that doesn't give a shit about X-Men.
Okay, 1 to 200, up to 200, maybe 250. That's what I lived off when I was a kid. I mean. That was
right. My wife is the X-Men fan. I have a crap ton of X-Men books in the garage, and every single one of them is hers, with the exception of the first 20 of the current run that came out this last year that they've now already ended.
When I got back into collecting comic books, first thing I did was let's buy these X-Men. Gotta read it. Bought 20 issues, started reading it, got 3 books in, and went, shit. Yeah. Out of here, go away. I can't stand it. I don't know. Yep. I couldn't do it. I couldn't touch it. You know,
I agree.
I loved watching Eddie's videos when I found him on YouTube. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna use this shoebox right here, and we're gonna open this Walmart pack." And then he'd be like, "Damn it, I got this second one again. Champions number 2." And he'd put it over to the side. That's going to the grandkids. And you'd see him like toss it over to the side.
yeah, a lot of
I was
those
like, this
beginning
guy is
Walmart, a lot of
hilarious.
those beginning Walmart ones were junk. I mean, well, they had the one Champions number 1, which is that one cover that everyone now is like a
Right.
$20-$30 book now. I have
Right.
3 or 4. I had those out in the garage in a dollar bin, but then I went back out the garage and said, nope, throw them back in. So they're up to $20-$30 now.
Right.
But yeah, the new ones came out. The grandkids read comics for about a week and then never cared. I just gave up. Just said, forget it. Not going to keep on giving them books. They don't care about them.
There
So
you go.
they really didn't. They want their computers and they're playing their stuff. We got one of those of football last year during the COVID thing. Well, I don't even know when it was, but we head down to California. It was one of the grandkids' birthday. He's in high school, football player, big
Right.
guy. And so I thought, I'll be nice. I'll go to a card store. What's he like? The Raiders. I picked up some great, some cheap graded cards, some good stuff for him. Thinking, there you go. Couldn't give 2 craps about the Raiders in baseball in card form. I tried.
Yeah.
They all want their video games now. I tried. Oh well. So what are you looking forward to next, Jim? What's the next books you're looking for that are coming out?
I don't have a big pull list. At my LCS, I read specific. I'm deep in Strange Academy. I really like Strange Academy. It's just a fun little read. I'm reading. I've been trying to expand out. Doing Department of Truth. I'm reading a book called 7 Secrets. I really like that. I did read the guy at my LCS knows that I'm trying to read different stuff. I'm reading Nocturna. I like Nocturna. I really like Nocturna. I have the Geiger, but I haven't read it yet. I had that on the pull list to read. The guy upstairs put in a pull box.
Jim's internet just took a dump.
No.
No, we were getting less serious latency.
Yeah, we're getting your sound like
staticky.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's
No
latency
problem.
issues.
No
You're fine now.
You're good now.
Let's wait for it to catch up.
What is it? The house in the lake, or the one that just came out?
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, I read that. That was
Yeah.
great. That's going on the pull list right now. I've already told him just keep that.
I'm picking
keep
that up,
putting
and I'm picking that up in Vegas next week. They'll have it there. They don't have it here.
Yeah, that's really
I
good.
keep telling you, Eddie, to use the Soldier.
I do use them.
Yeah,
But
if
I do
you
use them.
if you don't have a good LCS, you should try to do that.
I do, but I like finding them in the wild. I'm bad.
Oh yeah, let's talk about what my brother's talking about. Milestones coming back. You better
Oh,
put
yeah.
your statics and your icon books away, and make
Wasn't
sure you got them
into
graded.
it then. I'm not into it now.
Wait,
I
what is
think it's
Miles?
I like static.
It's not a bad idea. I just
okay.
Yeah,
wasn't into
static,
it.
hardware.
For a minute, I went Milestone. I kind of remember. I never read any of that stuff. What was it? Oh, something was on my mind. I forgot. Oh well, no big deal.
I got a question. So, is there anything that you regret either not buying or you regret putting in one of your mystery boxes?
Oh, that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, you know what? If I put it in there, I put a couple books in out of my own personal collection to make sure that they had enough value. And
Yep.
one of them was Captain America, and I can't remember the number, but it's the one where the Punisher is pointing his gun at Captain America and he's standing on his shield.
Mm.
And I can't remember which number that is, but I put that in a box because it's a decent book. And I said, man, I really want that book back. And you know who? Dan ended up posting it on Instagram saying, "Hey, I'm willing to sell this book." And so I DM'd him and said, "Hey, man, I want to buy that from you. I want to buy that book back." And I bought that book back from him. And he lives right down the road from me, so we met midway because of COVID. It's people were like, he's like, "Oh yeah, all right, I'll meet you here at this fire station. You know where that is?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know where that is." And that's the first time I ever met him was buying that book back from him because
Nice.
I really wanted that book back. I gave Everything else, yeah, I put in a Spider-Man Unlimited in one of my boxes, but I have a copy, so it didn't matter to me. I think that's really the biggest book that I gave away that I was like, wish I hadn't done that. I like that one. And so I got it back, you know.
Yep.
I mean, you can always go back and find it. I don't have anything that's super, I don't know. I probably have great stuff in here and don't even know it. I mean, I probably know a little bit about what I have, but yeah, my buddy Dave doesn't have a clue as to what he has. I mean,
that's dangerous.
It is sometimes, you know, you get rid of things. I mean, I know I threw out one of my first mystery boxes, America Chavez, her first solo series, the issue number 1, the 1 in 50 variant, which is now a couple $100,
right?
And only going up as that character continues to get more rumors on that. And
did you hear about that one? The film is happening, and they basically there's rumors out now they're not happy with the actress.
Yeah.
Really?
I heard that was on the rumors were on that were the actress for Ms. Marvel.
Oh,
Kamala
yeah,
Khan.
you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
not the American.
Sorry, I get them mixed up. I'm bad. Now, my worst regret still will be to this day with the 9.6 first Miles Morales that I got for about $140 when I first started back up and had it done myself. I made it my first mystery box. It was about a $400 books then. I was good as a prize. That thing now kills at like over $1,000.
Yeah.
In the end, I don't care. I picked up some second prints of it. I got a few of those for another mystery box. So there's going to be a big one, I think, right before C2E2.
So
Eric's going to help me figure out that one. It's going to have 10 good slabs in it. So.
Get your question from the community here, Eddie.
Oh,
right.
Juan's got a question for for everyone here. Any of you guys have a grail or something that you want to get this year? Eddie, who do you want to start with on this? With our guest?
Go for it, Jim. You're up.
I don't have a grail. I just want to complete that team up run. That's my goal. I'm going with goal over grail this year. I wanted that banana Wolverine, and I got it last year for Christmas from my wife. So that was a grail I wanted. I wanted the Spider-Woman, the first appearance of Spider-Woman. I guess you could say that was the grail I got this year. I bought that off of what's that guy's name? Yahweh.
Yep.
Yahweh. He was trying to sell it on Adrian's channel or somebody's channel, and nobody wanted it. So when it was over, I direct messaged him and said, "Hey, I'll give you this much for it." And he was like, "Meet me in the middle." And I was like, "Okay," and I bought that off of him.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I paid like $180 for it, and I think it's going for like $250 now. But I don't even care because it's not one I'm going to sell. It's one I wanted, and so I don't sell. I mean, there's some stuff I just don't want to sell.
Yeah.
Anything for you?
Well, I started off the year. I had 3 that were on my list that I wanted to grab, and by March I had all 3 of them.
Nice.
It was my goals for the year originally was originally ASM 300. I wanted to add to the list the Batman Adventures 12, and I think the other one is also on the wall behind me. I can't remember if it was. I think it was Edge of the Spider-Verse. It was maybe, I don't know. It was, anyways, whatever the 3 were, I'd have to go back and look at my video. I ended up grabbing them in very short order. I mean, 2 of them I don't know how to get. The ASM 300 my wife found in a drawer, had been in the house for a while. If you've not heard that story, go back and watch it. But I mean,
it was amazing.
It was a great story. So since then, I then turned around and I picked up the first Silver Age Scarecrow. So at this point, I might be interested. And then I picked up Batman 251 too. So I might go looking for like the first Penguin.
Get the first Riddler
appearance maybe. I'd probably say though the real goal right now that I'm kind of like keen on is I'd like to find a good quality Planet Comics with robot cover. I'm not in a particular issue, but a robot cover, Planet Comics, would be from Golden Age. Would in a mid grade would probably be right now the one thing I would really consider a grail for me to find right now, personal grail, not necessarily a grail for everyone type of thing. But
Right.
Okay, Eric, what about you?
So for me, well, I'm kind of like Rob. Like I completed most of my lists like very early this year. Like I got them all. Like I got I have my Brother Voodoo that's up. I have my Werewolf by Night Marvel Spotlight #2. I have that up right now.
Raffle.
No. My Tomb of Dracula, my Iron Fist 14, my Cal represents one. The last one that's on my list right now is just one day to get Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1. First finish 6. One of my goals that I do have is, of course, completing my Marvel Godzilla run. Jim helped me. He got 4 of the issues. So I'm just down to 3 more issues to get, and then I complete my Godzilla run. I've been trying to think like what else to get because, I feel like that annual is just it keeps going up, and I know I can get it eventually. Like I proved it to myself by getting my Hulk 181. I was able to get that book. I feel like I could get any other book now, like, no problem. It's just I want to find the right good copy, and I don't care if it's low grade. To be honest, if it's like a 1.8, a
how does it
0.5,
present though? Right?
Yeah, just I want the front to look nice. I
Right.
could care less about the back. Just the front that looks really nice.
Right.
So the price is always just hard to like pull the trigger on it. I mentioned to Jim, like a regret. One of the regrets is like not buying a ASM Annual 1 that was like a 3.5 for like 800.
Oh, wow.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much. But now, retrospect, thinking about it now, it's like I should have just done it.
Right.
I should have just bought it because now, like a 3.5 is like for sure. I think like a couple grand right now.
Oh, damn.
So
I mean, and that's what I'm talking about. It's crazy. I mean, not even a year and a half, and books are going up 300%, and you're just like, this can't be sustained. It just can't. So
Yes,
Something's gonna happen.
I know like this one's up like almost 40% from what I bought it 3 months ago. So
right.
yeah.
What about you, Eddie?
At this point, am going to be trolling eBay, finding under 100 X-Men's in whatever condition I can get for as cheap as possible. I'm never going to get the keys. I mean, GSX-1. It's way out of my reach now. I'll never be able. As of right now, I can't afford it. Probably get a full-time job. But I've got my list of X-Men. I check every time. I've actually I filled 3 tiny holes this week.
Both these were 15 apiece.
Well, yeah.
And they're not,
Nowhere here. I can't find them in eBay. They're not eBay. They're hitting minimum on all that stuff right now is like $40 to $50 each.
This would be what, $100 easy by Griffin, Eric. Griffin
being
would
raffled
go,
off. $10 a spot.
$10 a spot. 10 spots. You two can have this Mimic. The return of Mimic, X-Men #27.
Well, nobody gets that between 67 and 93. They're all repeats. I mean, they're all repeats. That's when they started. They stopped at 66. Everything from there, but those are even going for even good prices. I found a few good ones. I think my highest under 100s, I think, a 9.0. All the rest of them are 6.5s, or they're paper, or they're not, done yet. So slowly I'll get them. I mean, I'm pretty far apart. I'd be happy with a 90 to 100. I've got 100 finally. So that was the one thing I was going after last year. But really, I pick it up if I like. The other way I do is if I like the artwork in the front. I picked up. It's thing I haven't unpacked it yet. I know what it is. It's the first appearance of Rogue. I finally picked up and ended up getting an 8.5 for a decent price. It's the last big book I'm buying, and that costed me like I think 200 shipped for an 8.5.
And that's what is that?
I bought 2 of them. The Avengers Annual. Yeah, I got 2 of those recently for less than what he paid.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that was it was $175, but by the time shipping and tax Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I still got 2.
Right.
I'm guessing
Right.
that's what's in here because it's the last thing I bought on eBay, and it's the thing to show up in
That
the
looks
last
like my
thing.
writing right there too.
Yeah, it came from
Fragile.
Kyle.
Fragile. It's French.
Fragile. I mean,
You know, and going back to that, I did put a couple of books in this last mystery box where I'm like, you know what? These books may get big because they were Monica Rambeau books.
Rambeau,
but
yeah.
you know, it's not the first appearance. It's not the second appearance in Avengers, which I have both of those.
Uh-huh.
It was ones that I got that it was like a one shot. They were
Oh,
both
I have
one
it.
shots. Yeah, you might have gotten one. I don't
Yeah,
know who
I
got
got
the
it.
other one, but I was like, man, those could end up blowing up. But I was like, you know what? I don't care.
I
It's
have
going out.
First Spectrum. That's
You
all
know,
I
it's
got.
going out. Stuff like that. I just don't. I don't care as long as somebody else appreciates it.
I think it's pretty cool. The Whatnot app. I'll say that.
It's not bad, but I'm gonna definitely have to if I do it. I put in for selling there I think 2-3 times now. They never get back to you. I've not had an email back at all, but I don't know because they want you there every week, every 3-4 times a week. They want you on there.
Yeah,
so you
but
have to do
if
like
you're
a commitment.
Yeah, if you're
Well, no, they ask you that in the questionnaire. How often do you think you'll be able to do it? I said, well, maybe once or twice a week. I'll try, but some people they don't. When they go through their stuff, they don't name off what they're going to sell. They just put comic auction 1, comic auction 2.
right,
And some of the prices go for ridiculous amounts.
right.
I mean, I now am trying to find another copy of Alpha Flight 1 because I had that back in the day. I had the whole series, and I'm like, oh, well, let's go pick up that one. I look now, that one's now spiking $500 in a 9.8 for an Alpha Flight number 1. It's not even the first appearance of them, which was the X-Men.
You missed what's it called? What's his name? Red Hood Comics. He had like 9.8s for like $100.
Now they're
Like
$500.
not too long ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I wasn't thinking about it because I know at this point because I can't find the X-Men I need, and slowly I'm finding them here and there. On the online, on the Facebook auctions, I'm paying $30, $40, $50 for them. And, I get them, and I'm just going to slowly fill in from there. And once I hit there, one of these years, I'll be happy with a 0.5 number 1. I don't care. But now that's $3,000-$4,000. It ain't going to happen. Or if it kill me if I
You just
pay
settle for a facsimile.
Huh? No. Tempted to get. I almost did get one graded. Just
That was
for
pretty
it.
brutally right there. No.
No,
I have Amazing Fantasy 15 in facsimile. I don't even care.
facsimile.
Or,
Right.
Yeah,
I've got
except
some of
that
the-
you-
I've got reprints of that one.
So I mean, hey, look, I got facsimile. I've been collecting a lot of the facsimiles. The Fantasy 15, X-Men 1, Hulk 181, Hulk 181. I got like 4 copies of the facsimile first print because that thing actually graded as 9.8. It's going for like $100.
I have a.
It's annoying how much those go for.
The facsimile for giant size X-Men now is approaching $100. The
Wasn't
Amazing
one
Fantasy 15 is about like $80.
That's
That's
the
the True
Fantastic
Believers,
Four number
right?
1. What's
No,
that?
like the actual facsimile.
The
Oh,
facsimile.
okay.
If
Where it's like-
anybody,
It's not the
it's-
True Believers.
It's like from
Yeah,
because
not
it's
True
like
Believers,
from front to back. It's like
The only thing is it's got a
production.
barcode and it has a modern price.
the
on
True
it.
Believers is what you're talking about, right?
No.
No. He's
No,
talking
no.
about the. I see
Actual
what you're saying.
facsimile.
Yeah,
Actual
the actual
facsimile.
facsimile. Okay.
So
From
they
front
sell
from front to
facsimile.
back. It's like full. It has like the ads like from the like back in the original.
oh, so
book
it's
and everything.
exactly like.
Yeah,
It's
it is an
exactly
exact
like it.
duplication.
Other than
original.
just the price
Something
on the
has a
corner.
barcode
Yeah.
on
They-
the front now.
They
And
sell
it
those
has
for like
price.
$4 or $5 for them, like when
Yep.
they first released.
Yep.
Versus True Believers. True Believers is just like $1, like
Right.
Right.
They're on
right.
cheaper paper
Yeah.
and some other stuff too.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
but even still, look, Batman Adventures 12, the dollar book for that is going for like $80
Yep.
in a 9.8. I mean, even like right now, the Miles Morales Ultimate Fallout 4 Halloween book, and it was a giveaway, right? In a 9.8, it's going for like $80.
Really? Because I've seen the 9.9. Wow. Yeah, see here, X-Men. I'm following X-Men 11 right there. $224 with 8 minutes left. Nope. I'm
Yeah,
good.
no, I figure I'm honest. I really did not that. I will never even probably go after a Hulk 181. If it falls into my lap, I'll take it.
Yeah, I would too.
But I'm probably never going to go after it, right?
Okay.
But I'll take my 4 or 5 facsimiles that I have of it, and I'll be happy with that. You know what?
That's what I mean. What you guys said. What you guys saying? See, okay, the True Believers. Right there, because I would this comic shop I go down to in Vegas. They have more True Believer copies of everything in that store. I thought maybe.
True Relievers now. No.
Yeah, how do you tell
Yeah,
the
that's-
difference? I'm sorry. I knew you
The
guys
difference
said
is it looks exactly the same. Yeah.
Well, True Believers is straight up on top of like the
Says
top of
True
like the
Believers,
book.
yeah.
True
It's
Believers.
True Believers.
Because I think the comic shop south of me that you went to, Rob, I think he has a bunch of ones. Like he has like First Appearance Carnage. First Appearance Carnage, and it just has a $3.99 sticker on it.
So it's a facsimile then.
Yeah, so I'm asking that. Or
Like when you say sticker, like his sticker, like his store.
It said where the 75 cents was or whatever, $1.25, whatever it was now. It just says $3.99 there instead, but it doesn't say.
That might be a facsimile. I don't even know if they made a 361 as a facsimile yet.
No.
I haven't seen it. No.
300. Sorry, I think it's
300. Yeah. Well, 300.
He
300 doesn't actually have a true facsimile available yet. What they have, they have the Venom and Carnage, or I'm sorry, they have the Venom, Spider-Man and Venom version that looks exactly like it, except that it says like Spider-Man and Venom, and then they have one that's a 3D version.
Yep.
And
he had something. Maybe it was 360,
but it's not an exact. It's not an exact facsimile.
Yeah. I'll have to go down and take a look because he has them up there for like 10, 15, $20 each, and it says right on it. It says right on it that's a facsimile or a facsimile on it, but the book doesn't. He put a sticker on it. But
I think the last one I know that's like coming out soon is actually they're bringing out a Werewolf by Night 32. Like I know that's coming out.
Yeah, no, that's coming out. I have that on order. I just picked up like Son of Satan and picked up. I just pick them up as they come because they're fun to read and take a look at them. Black Knight came out recently. They're fun to read. I like reading some of these, these reprints and whatnot. When am I ever going to read a Golden Age sci-fi book where I'm going to flip it through and just toss it off to the side and not worry about it, right?
Well, when I'm done next week, okay, we're going to wrap it up anyway, guys, because I got to go
here.
Next week, I will be gone for my wife's birthday down in Vegas. They offered her really good, so we're going to go hang out. But I will be hitting the comic shops down there. So if it says True Believers, those are the ones you don't want to get. Oh, somebody's here.
Here. No, it's me. This is what the facsimiles looks like, right? I'm sorry, I'm only have a picture of it from.
It has a $3.99 right there, right?
Yeah, it's at the $3.99, and it has the barcode down the side. But everything else on here, and in all the interior, is exactly the same as the original.
Yeah,
book.
He has some of the reason I know this. I notice his were like that. His beautiful covers. I look at him closely and go, I see the $3.99. I'm like, okay, well, it's definitely a reprint.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is hilarious because I saw recently CGC took a New Mutants 98. You can go ahead and pull that out of there now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
Had a New Mutants 98 that they slabbed took a facsimile, they graded it a 9.8 and slabbed it and did not label it a facsimile. Then somebody turned around and sold it on eBay for like $2,000, and so some poor bastard paid $2,000 for a facsimile New Mutants 98, and
that happens all the time though. At the same time on eBay where people are just like falsifying their listing of it, saying that it's like the legitimate book.
They dance around it, or they're very careful. There was one recently that somebody posted where they listed it as, look, New Mutants 98, blah 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 blah, and then when you went down into the description, the description would list it down there, but it didn't call it out in the header, knowing that 75% of the people look at the picture, they look at the thing, they click, they buy, and they see a screaming deal, and they click buy and run away and think that they got a deal.
About the cards? Somebody was scamming people with the Upper Deck Marvel Black Diamond cards. Now, nothing we'd want because the pictures on the cards are full on. They use homemade, laboratory diamonds and rubies and stuff in the cards, but they're all movie shots. Each box that comes with 6 cards. You get a sketch, usually an autograph, and sometimes you'll get they had Thanos with the glove, and right underneath it had one gem of every one of the Infinity Gems. Cool cards. They start selling for $350 a box of 6 cards. Right? This guy has been putting them up online on eBay. Empty boxes. He shows a picture of a sealed box. They're empties. And the only way is under under the subject or under it just says empty substance such under the what am I thinking? The classification or something says empty box. So there's nothing else in his entire ad. He was selling them at $500 a box, and people were buying them
Wow.
and bidding them up to over $500. He was called out on the boards on Facebook. He got banned. He was bitching beforehand. He wasn't going to spend the money on them, so he went out and bought them for $349, kept the cards for him, and then put the empty boxes up for $500, and people got tricked.
Yeah.
They spent $500. They're going for $599 now a box, I think.
Yeah, you see it. The X-Men 1 facsimile, right? I can look at the last sales on it. It's like a 9.8 graded CGC book. There's like a $88, $99, $86. But then you see that somewhere in there's a 260 out of the blue, and you're like, that's just somebody who thought they were getting something that they didn't get and got hosed, right? But I mean, for the most part, they're like $69 to $79 for 9.8. It's a facsimile, but so you can go get them now, raw copies, even cheap, just to put it in your collection. And if down the road you eventually get one, great. But
I might buy a few if they have any at that one shop. My shop used to have those. I think they did get the Black Knight one, but I skipped it. I should have grabbed one.
That was like a low.
There's a one. I have a 4. Actually, I have a couple ones for. I'm trying to think which one was. Facsimile is 137.
Yeah, some of those books are between like X-Men 129 first. Who was the? I forgot. It's up to $1,000 in a 9.8.
Yeah,
129. I think it's the first Kitty Pryde and first Lead or White Witch. Yeah, I have it.
Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost,
yeah.
Sebastian, whatever his name.
I went out of my way the other day to pick up a New Mutants book just because back in the day when we were collecting stuff, we played the Marvel Superheroes game, the role playing game.
Right.
So and we based everything on the Hellfire Club. We were the other. Celine had her team. The White Witch had her team. We were like the weird little dysfunctional. And so I was like Celine. So I didn't realize her first appearance was a New Mutants book. So I picked up a cheap 9.6 for like under $50. So I was happy with it. I just wanted because I like the character. I mean, I wasn't looking to get a 9. I don't look to get 9.8s. I'm not too worried about it. I'll take a 9.6 any day. So and Eric's last box filled in 2 X-Men for me.
I've helped so many people with like low numbered X-Men like for like a good while because I just got lucky with like raffles for like old X-Men. It's just like, okay, cool, put them in a mystery box.
Well, Taylor got 2 in a box, but I had both of them already, so I'm not. He got them up on eBay, but I already had both of them. And one of the cheapest ones I ever got was from Franchise Kicks. He got one in that Spider-Man booth. It was like number 23 or something. I don't remember what it was, and it was in pretty good shape. For some reason, he put it up on eBay for $15. Buy it now, or best offer. He's like, it's not worth a lot. I'm like, oh, this is before they really blew up high. This is like about 6 months ago. I think I paid like $15-$20 for the damn thing.
Eric, you talk about your AF-15 facsimile.
Mm-hmm.
Last 4 sales in a 9.8 are between $120 to $150.
Holy crap!
For the facsimile.
For a facsimile. I mean, maybe in the end that might be the way to go for some people. Hell, if I found a bunch of them, I'd send them out. If I found a bunch of them, send them out to CGC and quick. Don't do a quick one to say when they come back.
Well, it was that's a 2019 book, so it's it's not like you're finding them stacked on. Well, I don't know. Maybe you find them stacked up on your LCS shelf still. I know my LCS still has like the Hulk 180s and 182s stacked up on their shelf on the facsimile rack, but.
There's a shop I used to know in San Francisco that like no one ever bought the facsimiles, and he literally has like a spinner rack just filled with all his like facsimiles there. That's where I bought them from.
Mine's just got a freestanding rack, and it's it's got this wall of comics, all the current comics and recent releases, and then behind your back is to this one little stand that has all the facsimiles on it. So if you're looking at all the other books, you never look at it because it's mixed in with a bunch of toys that most of the comic guys don't look at. Right. And I've learned that it's there, so now I always go over to it every week and just look to see if there's something else there I missed.
Do you guys watch do you guys watch them on Facebook at all? You guys any groups, comic groups, anything? There's a reason I'm asking. Some guy's been posting. He posted 2 different books. The only one I can think of now was Spider-Woman number 1. It was a stack this high of them. Never that they found, probably I guess 50 or 100 of them. It has one band of the plastic around them, so they've never been touched, uncirculated. He's like, I'm just keeping them like this so they don't get. I'm like, doesn't that band like damage the living crap out of the sides of them?
If you well, probably no. If you move them around and pick it up by it and stuff and everything,
Yeah,
sure,
I
yeah.
think back in the day, it
But
looks.
if it's just sitting there, it's probably no more than it was. But
He's just put up 2 books that are going high end right now, and he's got 50
well,
copies of each.
so Spider Woman #1 isn't going for a whole bunch.
Yeah,
let's
it's
be
not
honest, right. So it's the first appearance of Spider Woman that goes in, but Spider Woman #1, it started to go up a little bit for a while, but then there was this warehouse find
Right.
that
that's
people
right.
Yeah.
people heard about, and we're not talking about a box. We're talking like a pallet of
Ooh.
Spider Woman ones, right? Warehouse find type thing. So we've been waiting for these to come hit the market, and so the pricing on that book is not expected necessarily to, especially for maybe 9, out of that how many of them are going to be 9/8 after all this time? Maybe not too many, right? But still high your near mint high grades are going to be fairly readily available. There's a lot of them out there. So
all right, guys, look, I got to get off.
Yep, I need to get moving. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Anybody got anything they want to plug before they're gone? Raise your hand.
Sure. Monday, tomorrow, I got a monstrous mega mail call dropping, including some Australian Golden Age Buck Rogers books and some other Golden Age and Silver Age key that I picked up.
That I got to see.
I will be watching that.
Anything, Jim? Anything?
Nothing.
I'm going to start dabbling in the YouTube a little.
I tried to find your channel.
I tried to video some stuff today when we went out detecting, and every time I would video it, it would be it wouldn't be anything good. It would be trash, or because a lot of times you got to dig those signals because they sound exactly like something good. My buddy, I thought for sure he had a piece of old silver there, and it was aluminum. It was a big chunk of melted aluminum. It gives off the same type signal. So
it's a lot of editing.
Yeah, well, and I don't have any editing software, so
that's you using a Windows or a Mac?
I have Windows.
And there's a very basic free Windows edit has a movie editor that's included for free, and it serves for simple cut and paste editing and adding some basic. That's what I use.
All right, well, maybe
it's what Slot uses.
It's just video editor. It's
right.
If you look it up, it'll pop up and it'll look like a little thing. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Nothing. We're not doing anything for 2 weeks. Next week, I will be in Vegas till Monday for the wife, eating steak. I know I shouldn't, but free food's free food. So,
there you go. All right, well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks, guys, and I got an idea for a really good person next week. It's female, so you guys are very.
No one's gonna be here next week.
2 weeks.
So.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Sorry, I'm waiting for the message.
We're gonna have a great show in your absence. Don't worry, Eddie. I'll fill in for you next week.
Perfect. Let's put it this way: the person I'm asking, they turned me down because they couldn't this week, or couldn't last week, or whatever week it was, and this will get some behind the scenes of one of our favorite people. So,
all right.
Okay, guys. Thanks. Have a nice night.
All right.
Bye.